Today we're going to show you how to change the control board on your dishwasher, and it's a really easy job. All we're going to need is a number 15 Torx bit and a small flat blade screwdriver. Let me show you how we do it. Now before we begin this repair, the first thing we'll need to do is to disconnect power to the dishwasher, since we will be working near some electrical circuits. So if it's a portable dishwasher, simply unplug it. If it's a built-in dishwasher, you will need to locate the fuse panel or breaker panel and disconnect the power at that source. Next, we'll open the door completely, and then locate these 6 screws across the top of the inner door panel, and they're a number 15 Torx screw. So we're going to remove all of those, 2 on each side and 2 across the top. Now when you remove the remaining 2 screws in the center, just support that control panel to the inner door panel with one hand. Now with the door in an upright position, you're just going to lift out on that control panel until it tilts forward, and you'll note a protective cover over top of the actual control board, and there are 4 locking tabs that hold that in place that need to be released. The one in the left hand corner, one across the top, so just squeeze the cover, and then 2 tabs on the end. Just depress the tabs with your finger, and once you've released all 4 tabs, you can lift that cover away. And just set it aside. And next we're going to remove the wire harnesses to the control board. And just take note of where everything is located here. On top of the control board there's a little protective thermal fuse device that is clipped onto the side of the board. We will need to reuse that, but it may be easier to pull the wire terminals off of it first if you can. And then we'll transfer the device after we get the board out. And again, there are 2 locking tabs on one end of that need to be released. At the same time as we lift up on that control board. Once you've lifted that up, you can then pull the ribbon cable off of the end, and then 2 connectors that attach to the side. And they have a little locking tab on them as well. Just pull that tab down slightly, pull the connectors off. Now we'll remove that board, and I suggest that we lower the door panel down and then we can take that board and remove the thermal device that is attached to it, because we are going to use that on our new board. It has a little plastic clip around it. Should be able to just pry that out of that clip. Now with the control board removed, we're just going to take a small flat blade and we'll pry open that plastic clip that holds that thermal fuse in place, and then push it out of the opening. We can discard the old control board. We're simply going to snap that thermal fuse into the clip on the new board. Make sure it's sitting flush. And we're going to first of all connect the connectors to the side of the board and make sure they're inserted full enough that the clips hold them in place. Next we'll reinstall the ribbon connector, and you'll note that there are a couple of guide tabs on the bottom of that connector that line up with 2 slots in the board. You just need to make sure that those line up properly and push it on firmly. And most models will have 1 extra terminal showing. It's not to be concerned with. As long as it lined up with those 2 slots, it is on properly. And we'll slide in the right hand or outer edge of that control board first, and press down on the center portion of it until it locks in place with the locking tabs. Next we'll reinstall the remaining harnesses and the 2 wires to the thermal fuse, and we'll reinstall the protective cover. sure all the tabs line up and lock into place. And we're going to tilt that control panel up into position. We can pull that door open enough that we can seat it in properly so it's flush all the way around. Then hold it in that position until we put a couple of screws in there. Then install the remaining screws. And once we've replaced all those screws and made sure they're tight, we're ready to reconnect the power, and our repair is complete.